All right, guys, good morning. We're going to get started with our first role play today. So what a role play really is in a nutshell is it's basically going to be a problem that you're given, and then you need to find a solution. So that is the micro definition of what this is. But we have one more curveball that's going to be added to it. So they're going to give us a problem to solve. They're going to let us know what they would like us to hit in our answer, and then we have to give them an answer. So a role play is going to be something that you might do in any line of work. A lot of times people in sales training, they actually have to do practice role plays and things like that. For those of you that have been DECA members, or if you're considering getting involved with DECA this year, a role play is actually a part of a DECA competition. But I hope that you're going to be able to see by this first practice role play that a role play is going to be something that can help you in all areas of your life, and then also in your future career, no matter which avenue you actually end up going down. So let's kind of go down and see what's going on with this and how this whole thing works together. So when you get into your role play today, you're going to notice at the top that it says PHT Economics Role Play. That actually stands for Principles of Hospitality and Tourism. That's going to be a DECA category, but for us today, it's just going to be one of our assignments. You're also going to notice that it tells you what the role play is about. So this role play is going to be about hospitality and tourism, and it's also going to be on the topic of economics. So every time we do a practice activity like this, it's always going to tie into your curriculum topic that you have at that time. So the very first thing we're going to do is just take some time and go down and read this information. So we're going to take a look at our performance indicators right up here in blue. You're going to go on down on your own and you're going to read through this case study, and you're going to notice that it's got judges' questions for you right here. For right now, we're just going to kind of leave the judges' questions alone. So the first thing we're going to do is read down through that. The second thing you're going to do is right down here at the bottom, you're going to notice that it has a role play helper. So we'll use those every time we do a role play. I've already opened that up, so let me switch over here for you so you can see what's going on with this. So in a role play helper, we're trying to help you make sure that you feel really good about how you do this. So if you notice for us right over here, the first thing we want to ask you are some really basic questions. In the role play, what problem were they asking you to solve? Who are you in the role play? And then who is the judge? The role play is always going to let you know who you are and who the judge is. Now, a little bit lower than that, we're going to get into the sections that we should fill out when we complete our role play. So we've got 4 performance indicators, but just like any time you met somebody or a meeting, you don't just jump right into something, right? So you're always going to kind of start out with a little bit of an introduction. So right up here, it's going to say introduction, and it gives you a couple notes. You want to thank the judge for seeing you today and tell them what problem you're going to solve. So all you have to do is right here in this table to the right, this is where you're going to put your answer right over here. On the next one, it says explain the concept of productivity. So I'm probably going to have to flip back over so that I can kind of scan down through here and see what I want to do. But whenever we're working on a role play, what we always want to do are 2 things. We want to show that judge or that employer or that manager that we know and understand what productivity is. And the second part is we want to tie it back into this case study that we just read. So the first thing is to show them you understand what productivity is. The second thing is tie it back into the case study. I'm going to put my answer again right over here. I'm going to move on to my third one. Describe the impact of business cycles on business activities. Now for this, you can always flip back to your notes if you feel like you need to, but same concept again. We want to make sure we tell that judge that we know what a business cycle is and tie it back into our role play. We're going to continue that for performance indicator 3 and performance indicator 4. But just like any kind of meeting you're going to have, you don't just walk out after you say the last thing, so we need to have a close. So here's a little hint for you. So you want to leave the judge with a final recap of how you're actually going to solve this problem. What I like to do in a close is kind of remind that judge or remind my manager of what I actually told them that day and how I'm going to solve the problem. So when you're working on this, you should not feel like each one of these are an essay, but you are going to put your answers in here in first person, as if you were actually the one that was going to say it. This is great practice for everybody so that you can hit performance indicators and articulate your idea. And it's also incredible practice for students that are going to get involved with DECA. Just a quick reminder for you that if you want to get involved with DECA, your 3 homeschools are probably getting pretty close to getting DECA started, signing up for DECA. And remember that if you want to get involved with that, you can find your DECA home advisor in this Schoology class. If not, please reach out to me. If you go to East, I'm your DECA advisor, and we are rocking and rolling with stuff. All right, have a great day. Thanks.